I'm Donna Raye Priest from Echo Ridge Seventh-day Adventist School, and today children from kindergarten and first grade will be reading for you.
Hi, my name is Lauren Wallen, and I'm going to be reading Goodnight Moon. In the great green room, there is a telephone and a red balloon, and a picture of a cow jumping over the moon, and there are 3 little bears sitting on chairs, and 2 little kittens, and a pair of mittens, and a little toy house, and a young mouse, and a comb, and a brush, and a bowl full of mush, and a quiet old lady who was whispering, "Hush." Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light and the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens, and good night, mittens. Good night, clocks, and good night, socks. Good night, little house, and good night, mouse. Good night, comb, and good night, brush. Good night, nobody. Good night, mush. And good night to the old lady whispering, "Hush." Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. Thank you for listening to me read. If you wanted to check out this book, check it out at your local library. My name is Anne-Marie Vixie, and I'm going to be reading Yoko. "What would you like for lunch today, my little cherry blossom?" asked Yoko's mother. "All my favorite things, please," answered Yoko. Yoko's mother spread steamed rice on the bamboo mat. She rolled up a secret treasure inside each piece. Then she packed it all in a willow-covered cooler. "Have a wonderful day at school, my little cherry blossom," said Yoko's mother. "I will," answered Yoko. Yoko said hello to all of her friends. Everyone in Mrs. Jenkins' class sang the good morning song. At noon, Mrs. Jenkins rang the lunch bell. "Lunch boxes out, and open, please, boys and girls," said Mrs. Jenkins. Timothy unwrapped a peanut butter and honey sandwich. Valerie had cream cheese and jelly. Fritz had a meatball grinder. Tulip had Swiss cheese on rye. Hazel had pumpernickel. Doris had squeezed cheese on white. And the Franks had franks and beans. Yoko opened the willow-covered cooler. Inside was her favorite sushi. Tucked in the rice rolls were the crispiest cucumber, the pinkest shrimp, the greenest seaweed, and the tastiest tuna. "What's in your lunch?" asked one of the Frank. "Ick, it's green, it's seaweed." "Oh no," said the other Frank. "Don't tell me that's raw fish. Watch out, it's moving," said Doris. "Yucko Rama," said Tulip and Fritz. Valerie blew the playtime whistle. "Everybody out," said Valerie. Yoko did not want to play ball or swing on swings. "What's wrong, Yoko?" asked Mrs. Jenkins. "Everybody laughed at my lunch," answered Yoko. "They'll forget about it by snack time," said Mrs. Jenkins, but they didn't. During the snack time song, Yoko opened the firmest cup of red bean ice cream. "Red bean ice cream is for weirdos," snorted the Franks. Mrs. Jenkins switched to the friendly song. Mrs. Jenkins knew the friendly song was not enough. Late into the evening, she fretted about Yoko. Finally, the answer came to her. Dear parents, Monday will be International Food Day at Hilltop School. Everyone is asked to bring in a dish from foreign country. Everyone must try a bite of everything. Happy cooking, Mrs. Jenkins. We will make a deluxe sushi for the whole class, said Mrs. Jenkins. Don't worry, my little cherry blossom. Everyone will try our sushi and everyone will love it. On Monday morning, Valerie and her mother carried in a plate of enchiladas. Timothy and his mother made Caribbean coconut crisps.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sunny Gill, and the book I'm going to read is Amelia Bedelia. Oh, Amelia Bedelia, your first day of work, and I can't be here, but I made a list for you. You do just what the list said Mrs. Rogers. Mrs. Rogers got into the car with Mr. Rogers. They drove away. My, what nice folks. I'm going to like working here, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia went inside. Such a grand house. These must be rich folks, but I must get to work. Here I stand just looking at me with a whole list of things to do. Amelia Bedelia stood there a minute longer. I think I'll make a surprise for them. I'll make lemon meringue pie. I do make good pies. So Amelia Bedelia went into the kitchen. She put a little of this and a pinch of that into a bowl. She mixed and she rolled. Soon her pie was ready to go into the oven. There, said Amelia Bedelia, that's done. Now let's see what this list says. Amelia Bedelia read, change the towels in the green bathroom. Amelia Bedelia found the green bathroom. Those towels are very nice. Why change them, she thought. Then Amelia Bedelia remembered what Mrs. Rogers had said. She must do just what the list told her. Well, all right, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia got some scissors. She snipped a little here and a little there, and she changed those towels. Okay, thank you for listening to me read. If you want to hear the end of the book, check it at your local library.
Stay.
Hi, my name is Jenna Chavez and I'm going to read Sweet Potato Pie. Pa picked sweet potatoes one by one. Why oh why, sweet potato pie. Grandma bakes them till they are done. Why oh why, sweet potato pie. Gram stops chopping. Ma stops washing. Tom stops swimming. Why oh why. Sis, stop swinging. Bob, stop. Start singing. Come and get my sweet potato pie. Everybody coming one by one. I like sweet potato pie. Everybody eating till there is none. Why, oh, why? My, oh, my. Sweet potato pie.
Thank you
Thank you
for listening to me read.
for listening to me read. Hi, my name is Sierra Campbell, and I'm going to be reading Stitches. I fell, cried John. My head is bleeding, my head is bleeding. Let me see your head, said John's mother. It's bleeding, cried John. John's mother put a bandage around his head. Then she took his hand and said, I want the doctor to see you. You need stitches, said the doctor. I don't want stitches, cried John. But you need stitches, said the doctor. If I put stitches in, then you'll only have a little scar. Can you lay still? Very still, asked the doctor. Your mother can hold your hand. Will it hurt? Asked John. I'll give you a shot so it won't hurt. I don't want a shot, cried John. But I can't sew if I'm hurting you. So, said the doctor. So John got a shot. Ouch. The doctor put in 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, said the doctor. All done. I want to go home, said John. I want to go right now. But you need a bandage, said the doctor. Then you can't go home. John was quiet in the car. He didn't talk to his mother. He wanted to get home. He wanted to get to bed. John lay in his bed. I don't like blood, he said. I don't like shots, and I don't like stitches. Would you like chicken soup? Asked his mother. No, said John. Would you like ice cream? Asked his mother. No, said John. I don't know what you would like. So, said John's mother, please tell me. Thank you for listening to me read. If you would like to hear how the book ends, check it out at your local library. Hi, my name is Megan Phillips, and I'm going to be reading What a Hungry Puppy. Lucky went out to play. His voice said, "Don't go too far. It's almost time for dinner time." All at once, Lucky is hungry. Sniff, 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 dig, dig, dig. All Lucky finds is a jump rope. Lucky walks down the street. Sniff, 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 dig, dig, dig. Is there something by the tree? But sniff, 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 dig, dig, dig. All Lucky finds is a old shoe. Smelly old shoe, and the shoe does not taste very good. So Lucky goes on, Lucky walks and walks, sniff, 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 dig, dig, dig. Lucky pulls something out. But it only is a smelly old sock. Sniff, 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 dig, dig, dig. At last, Lucky finds a bone. Lucky looks up. Lucky sees a big dog. Lucky is hungry, but he is also scared. Lucky drops the bones and runs. The big dog runs too. Lucky runs past the sock, the shoe, and the jump rope. Lucky is home. But the big dog and him are almost nose to nose. But what does the big dog do? He licks Lucky. He's thanking Lucky for finding his bone. Lucky wags his tail. Is that Lucky's tummy? Or no, it is. Then what is it? Fine. Lucky hears his boy calling him, "Lucky, Lucky." Lucky runs, not because he is scared, because it is dinner time.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to check this book out, check it out at your local library. My name is Molly Malott, and I will be reading Goodnight Girl. Goodnight, Gorilla. Goodnight, Elephant. Goodnight, Lion. Goodnight, Hyena. Goodnight, Giraffe. Goodnight, Armadillo. Good night, dear. Good night. 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 Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, Zoo. Good night. Good night. Good night, Gorilla. listening to me read. If you want to check it out, go at here library.
Hello, I'm Nyla Coelho from Echo Ridge Seventh-day Adventist School, and today our students from 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grades will be reading for you.
My name is Joey Donovan, and I will be reading Bears in the Night. In bed. Out of bed. Out of bed. To the window. At the window. Out the window. Out the window. Down the tree. Out the window, down the tree, over the wall. Over the wall, under the bridge, around the lake. Under the bridge, around the lake, between the rocks. Through the woods. Out the window, down the tree, over the wall, under the bridge, around the lake, between the rocks, through the woods. Up a spook hill. Down a spook hill, through the woods, between the rocks, around the lake, under the bridge, over the wall, up the tree. In bed. In the window. Back in bed.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to me read.
Stay, stay. No, stay.
My name is Bobby Donovan, and I will be reading the class trip. The teacher says it's time to go, so she puts on her hat with the polka-dotted bow. Then Sam, Jim, Pam, Max, and Dan get on the bus as fast as they can. They sit seats 2 by 2. They talk, they sing. They're at the zoo. Sam sees the chimps. They fight, they play. Sam's friends move on. Sam wants to stay. The teacher says, Sam, don't be slow. Keep up with the group. It's time to go. Monkeys chatter, they swing, they climb. Sam is having a wonderful time. The teacher says, Sam, don't be slow. Keep up with the group. It's time to go. Elephants walk, lions run. Polar bears enjoy the sun. Sam is having so much fun. The teacher says, Sam, don't be slow. Keep up with the group. It's time to go. Fish swim, frogs leap, flowers float, turtles sleep. Sam looks up and he has a scare. Sam is alone. His group is not there. Which way did they go? Sam does not know. He looks up high. He looks down low. Sam tries to stand on tippy-toe. And that's when he sees the polka-dotted bow. Sam runs to his teacher. Now he will know to stay with the group and go, go, go. Thank you for listening to me read.
My name is Nicole Hughes, and I'm going to be reading The Day the Goose Got Loose. When the goose got loose, she caused a riot. Nobody ever thought she'd try it. There wasn't any more peace and quiet the day the goose got loose. When the goose got loose, the hens were mad. The goose ate all the grain they had. The rooster sulked, the chicks were sad the day the goose got loose. When the goose got loose, the sheep were scared. They huddled together and shivered and stared. They would have come into the house if they dared the day the goose got loose. When the goose got loose, the ram went wild. He butted the Bixby's younger child. Her dress got messed and her hair unstyled the day the goose got loose. When the goose got loose, the horses were glad. They kicked up their heels and ran like mad. The colt was silly, the filly was bad the day the goose got loose. When the goose got loose, the cows were tense. The goose provoked a bull named Spence. He charged right through the pasture fence the day the goose got loose. When the goose got loose, our herd was gone. They galloped to the courthouse lawn. The sergeants brought them back at dawn the day the goose got loose. When the goose got loose, my dad was annoyed. He said this wasn't a day he enjoyed. His morning routine was completely destroyed the day the goose got loose. When the goose got loose, my mom was upset. She said the goose was a personal pet. She walked around with a butterfly net the day the goose got loose. When the goose got loose, my brother knew why. He heard the wild geese flying high. They stood in the meadow and waved goodbye the day the goose got loose. When the goose got loose, my grandmother said, quite late in the evening, just before bed, I wonder what thoughts went through her head the day the goose got loose. If you want to hear how the story ends, please check it out at your local library.
My name is Vincent Hiscock, and I will be reading One Hungry Monster. One hungry monster underneath my bed, moaning and groaning and begging to be fed. Two hungry monsters at my closet door, chewing up my sneakers, asking me for more. Three hungry monsters in the upstairs hall, liquid flower painting hanging on the wall. Four hungry monsters round my daddy's head, sniffing out the crackers he'd eaten in his bed. Five hungry monsters sliding down the rail, munching and crunching on one another's tail. Six hungry monsters underneath the rug, tracking down some footprints to catch a tasty bug. Seven hungry monsters round the TV screen, drooling at commercials for sauerkraut and beans. Eight hungry monsters on the chandeliers, swear they haven't eaten for maybe 20 years. Nine hungry monsters wearing roller skates, hunting through the kitchen for knives and forks and plates. 10 hungry monsters about to fuss and kick, won't get out, they tell me, unless I feed them quick. So I bring out 1 jug of apple juice, 2 loaves of bread, 3 bowls of spaghetti they dump upon my head. 4 purple eggplants, 5 pickled pears, 6 orange pumpkins, they climb up and down like stairs. 7 roasted turkeys, 8 pizza pies, 9 watermelons that they wish were twice the size. 10 jars of peanut butter, but not a speck of jam, 'cause I want every monster's mouth shut tighter than a clam. They gargle with some apple juice, they then shower with the rest. They pinch the bread to breadcrumbs and won't clean up their mess. They braid a spaghetti into wigs and eat the eggplants whole and learn that pickled pears won't bounce and neither will they roll. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to hear the rest of this story, check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Phillips, and I will be reading D.W. Flips. I can't believe they put me in this baby class, said D.W. I want to do flips. Miss Morgan put on the music. First we do warm-ups, she said. Up, down, touch your toes. Very good. Everyone join hands and skip in a circle. Slow, now faster, said Miss Morgan. Not that fast, she said. She blew her whistle. Now we will learn the forward roll. Watch carefully, said Miss Morgan. Bend your knees, hands down, tuck your head under, push forward, up and over. Everyone try it, said Miss Morgan. This will be easy, said D.W. Who wants to be first? Asked Miss Morgan. I do, said Emily. Very good, Emily, said Miss Morgan. D.W., you're next. Thump. Don't worry, D.W., said Miss Morgan. You will learn it takes time. Lots of time, said Emily. Everyone practice forward rolls. Need some help? Asked Emily. That's all for today, said Miss Morgan. Don't forget to practice. D.W. practiced in her room every night. She practiced in the dining room. She practiced in the laundry room. She practiced everywhere. Finally, it was time for D.W.'s next class. Who remembers what we did last week? Asked Miss Morgan. D.W. jumped up. Everyone watch D.W., said Miss Morgan. Are you sure you're ready? Said Emily. D.W. rolled forward once, twice, 3 times. Wow, said Emily. Good work, said Miss Morgan. Thanks, said D.W. Now, said Miss Morgan, we'll try something new. Backwards rolls. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hi, my name is Emmanuel Joseph Bird. I'll be reading Chomp, a book about sharks. Sharks are fish. Most are very large. They have huge appetites, and they're almost always hunting for something to eat. This hungry shark swims slowly back and forth. Its senses are wide awake. Suddenly the shark smells something. It is blood in the water. The blood is about a mile away. That's as long as 20 blocks. The shark speeds towards the smell. The shark also picks up some faraway sounds. The shark's ears are 2 little holes in the skin. It hears something moving in the water. The shark swims even faster. In the dark water, but the shark sees in little light. It spots a injured seal. The seal has been badly cut. The blood is in the water. The shark circles around. It comes in closer and closer. Suddenly, the shark lunges for it. Chomp! It skin sinks its teeth into the seal. The shark rips off a large chunk of flesh. Gulp. The shark swallows it whole. All at once, other sharks appeared. Their the sharks turned the sharks in the water. Each want some seal. The sharks shred and rip at the seal. If you want to find out what the ending of the story is, please check it out at your local library.
My name is Farron Wigan and I will be reading Surprise Puppy. On Friday afternoon, Dad brought home a surprise. "Look what I've got," he said. "It's a puppy. He belongs to a friend of mine. Will you look after him for a few days?" "Yes, yes," shouted the twins. "The puppy's wagging his tail," said Sam. "That means he likes us," said Jessica. "My friend wants you to name him," said Dad. "I want to call him Wags," said Jessica. "Wags is a good name," said Sam. Wags ran around the room. "He wants to play," said Dad. "He needs lots of exercise." Sam looked in the box of things that had come with Wags. He found a ball. He threw the ball into the garden. "Fetch," he called. Wags chased the ball, but he did not bring the ball back. He just sat by the ball and wagged his tail. "Wags doesn't know how to fetch," said Jessica. "Let's teach him this weekend," said Sam. "Good idea," said Dad. "Then next week you can show your friends what he can do." Later that evening, Dad couldn't find his slippers. "Oh no," cried Jessica. "Wags has your slippers. He's chewing them." "He's teething," Dad told her. "Give him a dog chew. There's one in the box with Wags' things." Soon it was bedtime. "Can Wags sleep with me?" Sam asked. "Wags is too young," said Dad. "He has to sleep in the kitchen. Put some newspaper on the floor in case he needs to pee. Fill up his bowl and then lay a blanket in his basket to keep him warm." On Saturday morning, the twins rushed into the kitchen. Wags jumped up at them. He was happy to see them. "Get down, Wags," said Mom. "Puppies must learn not to jump up at people." "Do puppies eat cornflakes?" asked Sam. "Don't be silly. Puppies eat puppy food," said Jessica. "Mom is feeding Wags now." Mom filled Wags' food bowl with puppy food. Then she filled Wags' water bowl with fresh water. If you would like to hear more about this book, check it out at your local library.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to me read. Hello, my name is Christiana Tev, and I'm going to be eating snakes. A snake charmer sits in front of a basket and begins to play his flute. A crowd gathers. Slowly, a big cobra rises from the basket. Ooh, everyone moves back. The snake charmer isn't afraid. He sways to the music. The cobra sways too. Is the cobra really dancing to the music? No, it can't even hear it. Snakes have no outer ears, but the cobra watches the snake charmer carefully. It moves when he moves. From the beginning of time, people have been fascinated by snakes. This Egyptian king lived long ago. His headdress had a golden cobra on it. The cobra stood for the king's power to strike at his enemies. A Greek story tells of a monster called Medusa who had snakes for hair. Medusa was so scary that everyone who saw her turned to stone. In another old story, soldiers were fighting the great Roman army. They threw clay jars filled with snakes into Roman ships. The jars smashed. Snakes crawled everywhere. The terrified Romans gave up right away. Even today, many people are afraid of snakes. How strange snakes seem. They have no arms or legs, or fur or feathers. Their eyes never blink. A snake slithers silently along the ground or wraps itself around a tree. How can a snake do that? Does it have any bones? Yes, a snake has 400 bones in its back. You have only 33 bones in your back. A snake's bones are connected by joints that end. That's why it can turn and twist its body into coils. If you like to read the end of the story, check it out at your local library.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to me read. Hello, my name is Joey Chavez, and I'll be reading Good Driving, Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia walked into the kitchen. Mr. and Mrs. Rogers sang out, "Happy birthday, Amelia Bedelia." "Thank you," said Amelia Bedelia. "Take the day off to celebrate," said Mr. Rogers. "I'll go and visit my cousin Alcoa," said Amelia Bedelia. "Use our car," said Mr. Rogers. "Oh, I have not driven in years," said Amelia Bedelia. "Is your license still good?" asked Mr. Rogers. "It's great," said Amelia Bedelia. "See how nice my picture looks?" "Your license is fine," said Mr. Rogers. "Let's see if your driving is as good as your picture. Meet me at the car. A short drive in the country will do you good." They backed out of the driveway, and away they went. Amelia Bedelia drove very carefully. "What a beautiful farm," said Mr. Rogers. "Yes," said Amelia Bedelia, "and what a nice bunch of cows." "Herd of cows," said Mr. Rogers. "Herd of cows?" asked Amelia Bedelia. "Of course I've heard of cows." No, said Mr. Rogers. "I meant a cow herd." "So what if a cow herd?" said Amelia Bedelia. "I didn't say anything bad." Some cows had wandered onto the road. "Watch out," said Mr. Rogers. Amelia Bedelia stopped the car. "Steer straight ahead," said Mr. Rogers. "No," said Amelia Bedelia. "The steer is behind us." A cow with big horns looked into the car. "Push the horn," said Mr. Rogers. Amelia Bedelia gently pushed on the cow's horn. "Moo!" Mr. Rogers pushed hard on the car's horn. "Honk!" The cows ran back into the field. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to hear how the story ends, check it out at your local library.
Hello, my name is Adriana Wallen, and I will be reading Pajama Party by Joan Holub. Tonight is my pajama party. I can hardly wait. My friends are coming over, and we plan to stay up late. Ding dong, look who's here. It's Megan, Jen, and Dee. Keisha's here, and Emma too. That makes 6 with me. The pizza's ready now. Quick, let's go and eat. After that, banana splits make a yummy treat. The sky is black, the moon is bright, and all the stars are out. It's party time, let's boogie. We sing, we dance, we shout. No one wants to go to bed, let's stay up all night instead. We paint our nails with polish, all sparkly blue and green. Then we fix each other's hair. Jen looks like a queen. Dee passes out some bubble gum. Then she blows a bubble. We can't believe how big it is. Uh-oh, bubble trouble. No one wants to go to bed. Let's stay up all night instead. Emma starts a pillow fight. We whack and boom each other. Pillows zoom across the room. Oops, I got my mother. We munch on chips and popcorn. While a movie plays. Then we get our bedrolls out and put on our PJs. No one wants to go to bed. Let's stay up all night instead. Emma gets the hiccups, Keisha gets the wiggles, Jen, Meg, and Dee tell jokes, and me, I get the giggles. Next, we all share secrets and tell ghost stories too. I put on a big white sheet. Look out, I'm coming. Boo! Now we snuggle in our bedrolls and hug our pillows tight. We must not close our eyes because we must stay up all night. But Keisha yawns and stretches out. Dee doesn't make a peep. Meg and Emma rub their eyes, and Jen falls fast asleep. Everybody's snoozing now, everyone but me. I'm not sleepy, not at all. It's only 3:30. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to find out how the rest of the story goes, check it out at your local library.
My name is Jessica Mitchell, and I'm going to read Guess How Much I Love You. Little Nut Brown Hare, who was going to bed, held on tight to Big Nut Brown Hare's very long ears. He wanted to be sure that Big Nut Brown Hare was listening. Guess how much I love you, he said. Oh, I don't think I could guess that, said Big Nut Brown Hare. This much, said Little Nut Brown Hare, stretching out his arms as wide as they can go. But Big Nut Brown Hare had even longer arms. But I love you this much, he said. That is a lot, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. I love you as high as I can reach, said Little Nut Brown Hare. I love you as high as I can reach, said Big Nut Brown Hare. That is very high, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. I wish I had arms like that. Then Little Nut Brown Hare had a good idea. He tumbled upside down and reached up the tree trunk with his feet. I love you all the way up to my toes, he said. And I love you all the way up to your toes, said Big Nut Brown Hare, swinging up over his head. I love you as high as I can hop, laughed Little Nut Brown Hare, bouncing up and down. But I love you as high as I can hop, smiled Big Nut Brown Hare, and he hopped so high that his ears touched the branches above. That's good hopping, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. I wish I could hop like that. I love you all the way down the lane as far as the river carried. Little Nut Brown, said Little Nut Brown Hare. I love you across the river and over the hills, said Big Nut Brown Hare. That's very far, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. Thank you for letting me read this story. If you want to check it out at your local library.
Hello, my name is Robin Mitchell, and I will be reading If You Give a Moose a Muffin. If you give a moose a muffin, he'll want some jam to go with it. So you'll bring out some of your mother's homemade blackberry jam. When he's finished eating the muffin, he'll want another and another and another. When they're all done, he'll want to ask you to make more. You'll have to go to the store to get some muffin mix. He'll want to go with you. When he opens the door and feels how chilly it is, he'll ask to borrow a sweater. When he puts on the sweater, he'll notice one of the buttons is loose. He'll ask for a needle and thread. He'll start sewing. The button will remind him of the puppets his grandmother used to make. So he'll ask for some old socks. He'll make sock puppets. When they're done, he'll want to put on a puppet show. He'll need some cardboard and paints. Then he'll ask you to make the scenery. When the scenery is finished, he'll get behind the couch, but his antlers will stick out. So he'll ask for something to cover them up. you'll bring him out a sheet from your bed. When he sees the sheet, he'll remember he wants to be a ghost for Halloween. He'll try it on and shout, "Boo!" It'll scare him so much he'll knock over the paints. So he'll use the sheet to clean up the mess. Then he'll ask for some soap to wash it out. He'll probably want to hang the sheet up to dry. He'll go outside to put it on the clothesline. When he puts it in the yard, he'll see your mother's blackberry bushes. Seeing the blackberries will remind him of her jam. He'll probably ask you for some. And chances are, if you give him the jam, he'll want a muffin to go with it. Thank you for listening to me read.
My name is Evan Barnes, and I will be reading Bugs. Beetles, bedbugs, bottle flies, tarantulas the size of pies, with lots and lots and lots of eyes, staring at you. Bugs. Million maggots in a vase, lice as thick as mayonnaise, a horsefly that's so huge it neighs, glaring at you. Bugs. Bugs with pincers, claws, and hair. Bugs much fiercer than a bear. Buggies in your underwear, tearing at you. Bugs. Oh, when in your clothes they're resting, in your nose they're nesting. There isn't any question, they're infesting your intestine. Yup, loathe them or adore bugs. There's no way to ignore bugs. So even if you hate them, why not investigate them? Now you may have a hunch, if you bite bugs they will crunch. This is true, but stay alert. Fat ones sometimes squirt. Perhaps your intuition about those spit bugs you've been squishing is they're useless. That ain't true. They're great to barbecue. But bugs have far more uses. And for barbecues or juices, you can do such nifty tricks with tsetse flies to ticks. So grab a garden spider, saddle her and ride her, yippee-yi-yay, yippee-yi-yo, rope her at the rodeo. Rare beyond compare is caterpillar hair. Take your tweezers, yank it, weave yourself a blanket. Or you know what's even better? A caterpillar sweater. There's a microscopic udder that you'll find on female fleas. You can milk them and make butter, or the most delicious cheese. Teach your centipede to fetch, teach her to play dead, teach her to go potty in your mommy and daddy's bed. A scorpion in a string bikini, a tick wearing only a hat, a tuxedo and on a teeny weeny itsy bitsy gnat. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to hear how the story ends, check it out at your local library.
What do you love?
Reading!
Where do you go to school?
Echo Ridge!
And what do you love?
Reading!
Hip hip hooray!
Hip